very low-key, Jose Mourinho. And it's not, hopefully, what he's going to be saying in the dressing room to the players. But look, really, there's nothing more they can do except beat Crystal Palace and hope that they get that place.
Yeah, well, they should beat Palace. I mean, Palace are on a dreadful run of form, so they should do that. But you think about Mourinho, and yeah, he doesn't look overly inspired, does he? Maybe he needs a holiday, he needs a break. But you just think about, you know, Tottenham and what they built under Pochettino, how far they came, Champions League final, and getting close to winning the league, and what, 7th right now? Yeah. You know, talking about Europa League. Mourinho doesn't want to be in Europa League. He thinks he's one of the best managers in the world. So, you know, in terms of his style and the personality of his players, you know, it just feels like it's an accident waiting to happen. Probably not this season, well, it's not this season, but next year. I mean, they're so far behind the top 2 and 3 and 4. Yeah. Wow, it's tough.
I can't, what's it called, I can't get over the fact that Daniel Levy at some stage got to sit down and think, why didn't I give Pochettino what he wanted at that time to try and change his team, get them going, because Tottenham were a second, third team. They were in the top 4 consistently. It was comfortable for them. Just needed a change, and then he's brought in Mourinho to try and do the same. It just seems like, for me, Tottenham fans, it's such a shame. It feels like a shame.
So if it was a mistake not to give Pochettino money, should they be giving Jose money? Because actually, his record's not that different from Pochettino's this season. So maybe it's the group of players that he has.
Yeah, but then you have to look at what Pochettino's done. Pochettino elevated Tottenham to where they were. You know, we know that Mourinho's done fantastic things in his career, but like now they brought Mourinho in to try and get Tottenham back to where they were, and he's going to need money to do that. Like Pochettino wanted money to do that. He didn't give it to him, so you know they probably will give him something. Otherwise, you know, what are they doing? You know, they were there. They were challenging. They were challenging City and Liverpool. They were doing it, Tottenham.
I don't think they're going to give him a lot of money. I think the coronavirus has hit Tottenham probably harder than virtually every other club. I think they were so dependent on their gate revenue. I think there will be deals done. I think they will get Højbjerg from Southampton, but they'll have to sell. Obviously, they're trying to, Walker Peters may go to Southampton. Right. So I think there's quite a lot of trading to be going on with Tottenham. They got him because they thought they'd win things with him. It's as simple as that, and they thought the squad was underperforming. And I think the tension between Levy and Pochettino was over transfers, as simple as that. Pochettino wanted more done, he wanted more control, and I think he was slapped down. And I think that relationship broke down, and it was time to move on. And they thought, well, and Levy's always had a thing about Jose Mourinho. He's tried to get him so many times before. You know, when he first left Chelsea, he tried to get him. So he's always had this thing about Jose Mourinho being a winner. I'm with Owen. I think it will end in tears. I genuinely do. I don't think it's a marriage made in heaven. I think they're getting some results at the moment, but the football ain't great, is it? And I look at the team and think, you know, you're so dependent on Kane and Son, and they are world-class players, fine, but there needs to be more structure that's progressive behind that. And I just think you kind of, and you know, you could talk for hours about that kind of negative, reactive football's had its day. It has. You know, it's not the days of Mourinho and Benitez anymore. It's the days of Guardiola and Klopp, Pochettino now. It's got to be, football's evolved, it's changed. You can get so far with this style and approach. And also I think then beyond that, there's a kind of like a identity issue. It's not what Tottenham want to be either. The club, you know, it's not what they have been.
They were on their way there with Pochettino. You know, it was frightening for me as an Arsenal person. They were doing it. It was happening. You know, and now, you know, they've brought Mourinho in, and it seems to have just gone back to what it was before Pochettino elevated them.
And there was the argument before lockdown that they were trying to play without Kane and Son, on whom they are very reliant. But they've been back since the restart, and there hasn't been a massive upturn, except for the fact that Harry Kane looks like he's played himself back to close to full fitness.
Yeah, but you know that Harry Kane, I think that the break would have done him good, you know, with the hamstring injuries, the ankle injuries. The rest would have been very good for him. And what you know with Harry Kane is that if you make chances, he will score them. Whatever you say about him and Son, Jason's right, they are the quality in that team. And you know, when anything that's going to happen that's of any significance in that team is probably one of them too. But you know, you have to look at it and you think to yourself, well, what's their motivation to stay at Tottenham? I'm just so surprised that there's not more people clamouring for someone like Son. You know, Harry.
I just think the deal's going to be so difficult to do. You know, I mean, Daniel Levy's got a reputation for a good reason. It's a difficult one to do. I really think, and Harry Kane during lockdown didn't choose his time particularly well, but talked about maybe, it was time to move on. That's been an open secret for a long time. I think his frustration is clear. But he signed a very long-term contract at Tottenham, so you've got these golden handcuffs on him. So it's difficult to see who's going to come in at the sort of prices that Daniel Levy would demand for those players. Yeah. And also, it may be that Mourinho thinks, okay, I might be willing to sell one of those if I get all that money back. But the way things are at the moment with Tottenham economically, I'm not sure Levy would say, right, I'll sell him for X amount and you can have all that money to invest in the team. I think he might turn around and say, look, we've lost all this money on revenue because of coronavirus. I need that, to help repay for this stadium.
Wow.
Yeah, and then it comes down to whether it's a business decision and not necessarily what's best for Tottenham or for Harry Kane in a footballing sense. Do you think that if he stays longer for whatever reason, then he's gonna miss the boat, Harry Kane? Or can he do it at Tottenham? Or does he have to leave to do it? And if he does have to leave to do it, is it going to be too late soon?
No, he's going to have to leave to do it, Tottenham, and I'm sure that's what he's thinking about. He's probably been thinking about it even more so recently. Simply because time is running out for him. And when you look at where Tottenham are right now, and like Jason's just spelled it out in respect of what might happen to monies, what come in, is it going to go on the kind of players that's going to help Tottenham to get back to where they were? And it's going to take a lot of money. What's Harry Kane waiting around for that for? We're talking about an elite goal scorer that wants to win things.
Pre-lockdown, what's Harry Kane worth? In the markets that we've seen up to now, things are going to be changed.
150, 175.
They'd have asked for 200 for him.
You know what I mean? Up
They'd have asked
in
for 200, which
easily,
is unrealistic.
Easily up.
Yeah, nobody's going to pay 200. Not even Real Madrid.
I don't know what it would be now, but
150.
You think 150 is realistic?
For Harry Kane, I think so.
Yeah.
I think 150 because he is, whoever he goes to, he's going to score goals in that team. No doubt about it. They're making chances.